Pinpoint timing. What time did you wake up?
11:30.
Oh, no,
11:30 is when the thunder came through my part of the world.
Couldn't even make it to midnight to his birthday.
Exactly. I woke up, I was still 46. And so I'm like, man, this is a long thunder shower. And by the time it was over, I was 47.
Oh,
like
wow.
Literally. But outside, I mean, the lightning, it really was. I've said it before. It's like a rave, man. I mean, just all
Truly,
the beats and all the lights.
All going off. Yeah. And I tell you what, thankfully, Baton Rouge, for the most part, was spared, but our friends in New Orleans, let me tell you, a possible tornado coming down in their part of the world, lots of people waking up having to call their insurance providers for some damage that we saw this morning.
Actually, we were live down there this morning with our friends at our sister station there and giving us a look at kind of what was going on. The good news is, for us moving forward, we should be getting probably a little bit more rain today, but Dr. Steve was saying it ain't going to be the severe storms like we've seen over the last couple. We then begin to dry, like this time tomorrow, we should be talking about drying out and getting ready for the weekend. Just got to get through the rest of today.
Dare I say it, some sunshine.
That's happening. I know, it's supposed to show up. The weekend's supposed to be great.
Yes.
So, I mean, and it's the payoff, but man, just waterlogged and gills and just kind of got the wrinkly fingers.
Whoa, don't get your gills stuck with your wrinkly fingers.
Well, maybe it's because I'm old.
That sounds like trouble. Well, maybe a year extra does that.
Another year around the sun, I got the pruny fingers.
Maybe. You better watch out. Moisturize. Moisturize.
Oh, God, apparently.
Yes.
One of the other headlines today, if it wasn't weather, we were talking about actually the CDC and a big announcement expected later today.
We've talking all week about this. FDA giving the green light to Pfizer for 12 to 15-year-olds using their vaccine for COVID-19. Now it comes down to the CDC to give it their green light, and that meeting is supposed to happen later today.
So once that happens, it is 17 million, potentially more Americans, 12 to 15 years old, and they could start to get that vaccine tomorrow. And you've heard me say it, and folks watching probably know it as well. I got a pair of 13s, and so this does mean a lot moving forward. And
CVS could be the first pharmacy, one of the first ones to offer the COVID-19 vaccine, the Pfizer one, to 12 to 15-year-olds.
So we'll see. They are expected to pass this. Everything has looked like it is moving that direction. All the tests look good.
What was the percentage efficacy rate?
100% of the 2,200 kids ages 12 to 15 that they tested, 100% effective. Again, we'll let you know. You'll probably find out, obviously. If not, guaranteed, we'll send you that push alert.
Yes, indeed.
Happening up at the state capitol right now, a conversation, well, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
One of the conversations going on is something that's been happening for a few years now, coast to coast, a number of states, potentially allowing college athletes to receive some kind of monetary reimbursement for their likeness, their name. It's a conversation at the state capitol.
Again, conversation is happening all over the country. Now it's hitting Louisiana. Will that be a thing? And of course, if that passes, who will regulate it? There's a lot to come out of this conversation, a lot going into this big decision. So we'll see. Our Chris Rosado is tracking that bill at the Capitol today.
It's just, and it's not just a sure, pay them. Sure, allow them to make some money.
There's so much more that goes into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and one of the big discussions is, all right, so these powerhouse universities, they're going to have more money to be able to get. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the have-not situation, does that gap get that much wider between universities? And not only that, what about the have and have-not depending on the sport and the athlete at a particular university? Is this football players going to do this? What about volleyball or golf or swimming?
Men's and women's. So clearly a lot to be discussed.
Right?
Yes.
And so even if they vote on this, my gosh, then you got to get down to it and be like, yeah, this is allowed. Now, how do you make this happen?
Right.
For the universities. I mean, there's some paperwork going to happen.
Paperwork, big decisions, big conversations, a lot to consider here.
Yeah. Welcome to Hurricane Preparedness Week,
Ooh, can you believe it? And look, we've seen severe weather already with the winter storms earlier this month. We've seen it with severe spring.
Yeah.
We've still got a couple
severe
more
spring.
Severe spring.
God, that's exactly
a couple more weeks left of our severe spring. But really, right now is the time you want to start thinking about potential risks, especially after the busy hurricane season we had last year, Matt.
Record breaking.
Yeah.
Record breaking. Yeah. And so, we talk about all the time getting ready for this, and we should be old hat, right? We should be pros at getting ready for this. But yeah, record-breaking season last year really kind of spun us. But making sure that evacuation kit's ready to go, making sure you know where you might be going if you have to evacuate, making sure the insurance is good to go. We talk about all the time. Once a storm is in the Gulf, they're not writing any more insurance for that.
Too late to make changes.
Too late.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you got to do it now.
Yes. We always are big here on preparing, not being scared, not being panicked.
No, we know.
Because let's say a storm does come in, it turns out being less severe than what is predicted or anticipated. Look, you're
Great.
in good shape
Great.
if all your ducks are in a row.
Winning.
You've got your paperwork, you've got your insurance, you've got that kit ready to go. You don't have to worry about as much if all of that is set.
It's one. I was gonna say one less thing, but it's actually multiple things that you don't have to wrap your head around or deal with. Oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
Right.
At that point, you've already gotten everything taken care of, and all you got to worry about or pay attention to really is
evacuating.
Exactly, potentially, or where's this storm going to go? How much is it going to bring? You can follow the storm and not have to worry so much about potential damage and what it's going to do to you after.
That's why there's a whole week dedicated to preparing and making sure. Again, just like Matt said, y'all know if you live here, you've lived here for your whole life, you know. So they're talking about Hurricane Corinna this week again. It's because people do not have a plan in place. So just a gentle reminder to look over that family plan, make sure everyone's on the same page.
Gentle push.
Gentle.
Gentle push.
Gentle tap.
Gentle tap.
Yes, gentle tap.
Is that what I'm getting for my birthday later?
Oh, I think Johnny already did that.
No.
Yeah.
WAFB After Dark. Matt Williams gets birthday paddled. So speaking of paddles, actually not really. Baseball
Swinging,
baseball
not
bats.
cricket, but baseball.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
There was a game played yesterday at Baton Rouge. 7 innings. They had to call it because of lightning.
Yeah.
LSU getting a big win.
Yeah, so can you give me the ping pong version of this? This is so good this morning.
There was so much, it was crazy.
I know.
Louisiana Tech, 14th ranked Louisiana Tech comes in, and LSU trying to get some big wins. That's a good win right there, obviously. Got Alabama coming up. But yeah, so yesterday, kind of quiet for LSU the first couple innings, 4-1 Bulldogs going into the third, and then the scoring kind of starts. It's like 2 for LSU, and then 3 more for the Louisiana Tech, and then 5 for LSU, and then 2 more for Louisiana Tech, and then 3 more for LSU.
Wow.
It was 12-8 going into the 7th inning, and then LSU tacks on like 4 more runs. The Lightning shows up. Thor's like, we're done here, and they call it a game. 16-8, the final after 7. So LSU gets the win. Oh, by the way, you know how many? You know what the record is in midweek games?
Tell me.
It's perfect.
What?
It's perfect.
Wow.
13-0 in midweek games, and that's if you count actually a Monday game. The first time they played Louisiana Tech way back. They've not lost. I went back and looked at it yesterday.
Yeah.
This is a team that always, every once in a while, they drop those midweek games, and you're like, man, how could you?
13.
They haven't, exactly. It's crazy. I didn't even realize that until I went back and looked at it, because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm trying to remember the last time they did lose a midweek. Obviously, the SEC is a different thing. They're 9-15 right now. We know what kind of buzzsaws they've run into. Big weekend coming up.
Well, yes, indeed. Alabama coming. But apparently Thor is on our side. Thor is an LSU Tigers fan. So
we're done. 16-8, we're done.
That comes back around this weekend.
Exactly. Just so long as Loki doesn't show up and start pulling for the Tide.
Well, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
LSU softball today.
Speaking of SEC, Beth Torina talking about how this week can be even more challenging than the College World Series, which is a good point, because when you talk about how tough it can get in this part of their season, big challenges.
And there's a lot to that. And obviously, she's very quick to say, look, we've never won a College World Series. And that's the ultimate goal. But there's something to it. The way that that tournament is set up, just like the Men's World Series, the double elimination format, that kind of a thing. You get to some time in between games if you're winning, that kind of thing. It's not the case really here for the SEC tournament.
The stakes are higher.
It is like if they lose today, knock on wood, do we have actual wood? What is this? That's not real wood.
Let's call it wood.
What is that?
Well,
it's
what
like
about your noggin?
Is that made out of like cotton balls?
Go for your noggin.
If they lose today, they're done. That's
tough.
it. But one loss, gone. So it literally is win now and move on to the next day. And softball's a little bit different. You get to throw your aces routinely more and more and more because just the rotation of the arm allows them to go. But it is so much more challenging. And the SEC packed this year. Stacked with talent.
Yeah, but thankfully we've got 2 SEC champions coming in playing. Taylor Pleasance, Aaliyah Anderson? Yes.
And so that's the first, they made their SEC all-conference members, first
that's
team.
A big deal.
It really is. And so when you have a couple of those, and obviously everybody else playing for LSU, 1:30, first pitch, South Carolina, who just beat Auburn to get into this game. So we'll see, but big game.
Big game indeed.
And then the Pelicans will lose tonight. Moving on.
Look, Steve, everybody's ready for the season to move on to next year.
Look, at this point.
Zion is out.
Yeah, at this point.
Come on.
And plus they'd have to win out, and the Spurs would have to lose all their games, even to get into a play-in tournament. So I think
Let's channel our energy towards the Tigers.
There you go.
Let's
do that.
Yes.
All the energy on the plus right now.
Yes. You know why? Keeping things LSU today, 1 p.m. Jacques Talk.
Yeah.
Will Wade is his guest of honor today. Big deal. They are all big deals. But
yeah, they are.
Big deal when you talk about current coaches, where we're at right now, how we're moving forward.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of conversation about Will Wade and his LSU Tigers nationally right now. The recruits that he's pulling in. I mean, literally a 7-footer just committed to play for the Tigers out of Virginia, out of Richmond, Virginia. So that conversation, you know, is going to be good. You know, it's going to be fun. And you can only find it here, WAFB Plus, on all the different places, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, and on the YouTubes.
Yep, exclusive today at 1 o'clock. It's going to be good.
Okay, so get through some of the rain.
Yes.
Keep the phone handy just in case anything crazy. You know, we're not anticipating that.
Nope.
But obviously back in the big studio at noon.
At noon. It's going to be a good day, y'all. It's Matt's birthday.
Hey, now.
Y'all enjoy it and have a drink for him, too. Happy birthday to you. Careful.
Yeah, it's a bad
Careful
hit.
now.
It's a bad hit.
Careful.
It's all right. Bad hit.
We're going to go celebrate.
47 going to be a good year. All right, bye, y'all.